Hello everyone and welcome back to Crosses Gaming. Today we are taking a look at Crypt of the Serpent King. This first-person hack-and-slash dungeon crawl with roguelike elements from rendercore games allows you to explore randomly generated dungeons and fight terrifying monsters while trying to find your way to the next level. This indie title has been created by a single person and is available on Steam for a low price of €2.99 or your regional equivalent. Let's jump straight into the game. As the more experienced of you may already see, this game has been built in the Unity engine. This makes the game look pretty okay, though I wish it had a bit more of its own style, rather than this unoriginal one that has been seen a million times already. I understand that creating visual assets for a game is hard time-consuming work, but I think perhaps a bit more comic-like look could work for this game very well, as it would give it a bit of its own character, but still, the game looks okay. On the other hand, I'm really saddened by the game's sound assets. Good music builds up the atmosphere of the game, but here it just takes away from it. Maybe for someone else the music will work, but for me it just feels out of place. The sounds of attacks and monsters are okay though, at least those fit well, but they are not really special in any way. In terms of the mechanics, the game offers only the basics. You start with a weapon which you can use by left-clicking your mouse button, and eventually you can acquire a ranged weapon too. You switch between these by clicking your right mouse button. The ranged weapon also requires you to have arrows to use, and these are a limited resource. That is a good thing, because infinite ammo for a ranged weapon would incredibly trivialize the game. Otherwise, the game provides randomly generated levels for your enjoyment. In each of these levels you need to collect a pretty large number of keys, defeat enemies along the way, and collect loot from chests. Sadly, the chests don't offer much in terms of loot. There is food, which can either heal you, or if you're on full health, even extend your life total. To be honest, I was quite surprised on how this mechanic operates. Usually you only heal up to 100, so I was a bit disappointed when I encountered food while I was still on full health, but pleasantly surprised once I ate it and my health still rose. But later on I discovered that this is only the case on the easy difficulty. Then we have gold, which is used to buy weapons in between levels. The melee weapons are quite cheap, so you are likely to get an upgrade after you pass the first level. But the ranged weapons are much more expensive and you will likely require a few past levels until you'll be able to unlock one. And lastly, once you actually bought a ranged weapon, you will also be able to find arrows in the chests. Other than loot from chests, you also collect keys that are randomly placed on altars throughout the game. I freaking hate these. With each level you need to collect more of these, and most of the time they are behind a lava pit which you must jump over. Sounds simple enough, right? Wrong. The jumps in this game are so small and so fast that every single jump over these pits becomes a life or death mood. Falling into the pit will kill you without any chance of getting out. The jumps really should be more forgiving, since you have to jump from literally the edge, and even then you will feel like you barely made the jump. And you have to jump 2 times for every key, there and back. That means a minimum of 16 jumps per level, and screwing even a single one means bye-bye to your run. I personally died to these pits like 50 more times than I died to the actual monsters. And speaking about the monsters, sadly, each level provides you with only one type of enemy, so once you discover the way to kill one without taking any damage, you will likely just use the same tactic on each of them. So actually, they won't be a danger to you, just an annoyance. At least when you consider the whole game, there seems to be a decent variety of them. You will also encounter a boss at the end of each level, but again, once you figure out how to damage it without taking any damage yourself, you will quickly deal with him. And the tactic usually consists of running in close enough to have the enemy start his attack animation, running a bit back out of range, and then quickly stabbing him with your weapon. Not the most complicated combat ever, to be honest. Lastly, there are the roguelike elements of the game. First of all, you gain experience by killing your enemies, which you can later on use to level one of your 3 attributes. Strength to make your melee attack stronger, endurance to reduce the amount of damage you take, and agility to make you move and attack faster. And secondly, as mentioned previously, you acquire gold to buy new weapons. That's it for the roguelike element. Now let's take a quick look at the option menus. First of all, you have the launcher settings where you can set the game's resolution, the graphical preset, and if you're running a multi-monitor setup, pick up the monitor that will be used to display the game. All keybinds can also be set here, and there is even a secondary keybind assignment available. Then we have the in-game settings, separated into 3 categories. Audio, where you can obviously set the volume of the game. Then the graphics category provides you with the options to set the brightness, field of view, crosshair, VSync, and also to pick one of the 4 presets. Lastly, there are the controls, where you can invert the Y-axis and set the X and Y-axis sensitivity and vibration for your controller. About the game's performance, as you might expect from a Unity game, it runs well. No crashes, no FPS drops, or any bugs have been encountered during my gameplay. In conclusion, Crypt of the Serpent King provides a decent game at a very low price. If dungeon crawls are your thing, or you're itching for something cheap to try out, this game will be your cup of tea. For the rest of you guys, this game may prove just too average with no feature really standing out from the tons of dungeon crawls you can find on Steam already. Well, that's it for today guys. Hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, please consider liking and subscribing. And if you didn't, dislike the video. See you all next time with more gaming content.